Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, Drip, and Bond for Property. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And this is a part 2 of the video I just did, or hopefully that you just watched, regarding how I believe this solution can actually work for adding price stability and tokens back into the tax vault. So I went into great details on the previous video. This is just kind of a not a recap, but additional dive to give some more analytics and why I think this is the best way forward. I don't know what Forex has in mind, and that's again why I'm bullish, because if I can come up with something like this, then I'm sure him and his team has a better idea of what we can do, especially going forward. But this, I feel, can be done in the short term, and I've heard other YouTubers, people in the comments and stuff like that, saying why not put drip into a pool. And I explained that before, but I want to actually really dive into this because maybe I didn't make it clear. We do not want drip anywhere on the animal farm. The absolute best place for drip is in the faucet. So no solution that we create needs to give the incentive for people to remove drip from the faucet and put it somewhere else, because all that ends up doing is causing this to mint out. The reason we end up with more supply and no longer have 1 million drip tokens is because there is no incentive for people to keep drip in the faucet. They continue to mint it, or I'm sorry, continue to claim it and then put it in their wallet, or they claim it and they move it over to the farm. That's why I said this was actually really smart in the long term for Forex to make this on dogs. That's because it's not as attractive for people to move their drip and put it over here. We don't want drip on the farm. I need to really stress that. You want drip in the faucet, and specifically in the tax vault, so that we can all enjoy the price appreciation and make money. So the absolute number one best place for drip, and Forex knows this and explained this multiple times, is to keep it in the faucet. Now the question is, how do we make it attractive to put it into the faucet? Because right now, people with max wallets have so many max wallets that there's no need for them to keep putting it back. And they just keep making more and more. If this person deposits 30,000 drip tokens right now, they will have a max wallet. And then that means they will have continual ability to claim and do what? Make another max wallet? They probably already have 2 or 3. So there's no incentive. And they don't want to sell it because they are bullish on the future of drip and the utility and the price appreciation. So there needs to be a way for them to be able to capitalize on that potential price appreciation, or leverage it in some way to another asset that is just as bullish. So they've already have decided to allocate whatever they want to drip BUSD. So that's why this is a good pool or farm, because what they've decided, if you have a max out wallet, you have a lot of drip in your wallet, you have paired some of it or sold some of it and then added it here. This means you always have drip that you can claim and then sell when there's a big price pump. And that's what people are sitting with their wallet waiting on. They don't want to put it in the faucet because they are hoping a price pump will come. However, in my example, this gives them a really bullish incentive to lock up their drip, or sacrifice. I'm sorry, it's sacrificing their drip for a token that is meant to be sold. And adding another kind of detailed analysis for that is this other spreadsheet that I made. So I already explained to you guys what we're talking about with the drip price right now. It's a little less than $2, but $2 easy math. Dogs is $53.89. This is the exact amount as of this video that's in there. And the BNB price, I like using 300 because it's simple math again. So the incentive is that anyone who sacrifices drip to this contract, and remember the drip is going right back to the tax vault. All that's going to the tax vault. So except for 5% paired with BNB for the reservoir. I already explained that in another video, but I want to show the numbers here. So that means for every 10 drip, you're able to get 1 dog, right? Basically, you're getting a 2.5x on your drip price right now. And we all, if you're smart enough to understand this, we know that drip is not going to appreciate anytime in the present short-term future, due to the number of max wallets, the number of drips sitting in liquid, and the bear market that we're in. So this is to give people an incentive right now to get that drip back into the tax vault. So a 2.5x, I think, is very attractive to some of these whales because they're sitting with that much drip in their wallet. I already showed you guys that would give us, we would need 142,000 drip, and that makes a 25,000 BNB value at the 300 price. But let's look at what that actually means for these whales. So I literally took this from the top 5 wallets. This is how much liquid drip they have. This is what they would get if they sold it at these prices. Obviously, they're not selling because they believe drip is worth more than that. Well, let's give them a $5 floor. And what would that mean? That means they would be able to get, each person gets this amount of dogs. So number 1 wallet, 2,800, 2,200, and so on and so on. That means they've already 2.5x their value, USD equivalent value, right off the bat. So that to me is very attractive for whales. Now, how does this benefit the actual ecosystem? Well, remember, the dog value is actually made possible from the sales, if you're in the dog pound, and from farming for pigs. So dogs are meant to be sold specifically so that people can get that B&B price appreciation. So if you're looking at the tax reductions, at 60% tax reduction, these people break even from their initial investment. And that means no drip was ever sold. Only the dogs were sold. If they all decided to wait till 60% tax reduction. So basically 30 days from, if they did all their dogs, 30 days later, they could get a break-even price of what the $2 drip price would be. And guaranteed 30 days from now, drip isn't going to be much higher than this. It'll probably be lower. So this looks very attractive to max out wallets. And if they go even further out, then they're making a hell of a lot more money. And they'd be much more willing to hold this asset, in my opinion, because dogs roulette is coming and more utility is being coming to the dog token. Dogs have a burn mechanism, all this other stuff. So chances are, as we go forward, dogs are going to increase in price. They will have a drop, as I explained in other videos, from when the initial sales come off, but they'll eventually go up. So they'd be much better holding this, and them holding the dogs doesn't hurt anybody. It actually benefits the system because dogs aren't being sold. But let's look at, if they are sold, what can we gain from that? Well, the equivalent dog value from what would be given out would be 1,800 B&B at the $300 B&B price. If they were to sell at 90%, they would lose a lot of B&B, but we would get paid, the people in the dog pound would get paid 1,600 B&B. Even at their break-even price, the actual dog pound reaps more of the benefits. So again, this benefits all the long-term holders, just like Forex said he wants. And it doesn't add any sell pressure, especially in the short term, to dogs or in the to the people that are bullish on the platform long term. And this can definitely weather through the bear market and potentially be a foundation going forward. Because right now we're looking at a $2 drip, $53 dog price, right? That's a 2.5x value that we're giving. Well, what happens when dogs is now $104, double? Well, that means we can use a $10 drip floor to give the same value. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. So once we have established a $5 drip floor, due to the arbitrage opportunities and everything I told you about, going forward, if drip continues to be minted and held in wallets, well, you can now give another incentive if the dog price is doubled. If the dog price is even higher than that, then great. But basically, you'd be given the same 2.5x that we gave before. So if the dog price is now at $107, you create that same arbitrage opportunity with a $10 drip, because you are still giving the same ratio of amount of drips per dog. And this becomes something that can continually be done in the future, long into perpetuity. Can be something that literally exists in the farm. If he wants to automate it and put some kind of calculations in there, whatever. But it's a place to lock up drip and add it back to the tax vault where we all want and need it. And right here, these numbers, this is what everybody would love to see again. And that would create bullish momentum and sentiment in the community. Additionally, here's another value I didn't mention in the first video. If this works really, really well, we can then eventually start burning drip. I already know, no, Forex said don't burn drip. It's going to always be in the tax vault. But if this liquid drip gets put back into the tax vault and then people start FOMOing in and buying more drip and the tax vault continues to increase and there's some kind of buffer, whatever that would be, that we're able to hold in the tax vault, then we could actually start using this same mechanism to burn back the drip later on. So it can be sent to the tax vault or it could be burned and reduce the supply. It's, to me, the best of both worlds. It covers every single basis. It's attractive to whales. And the biggest issue is that These people have been in for so long, they have so much drip, they don't have anything else to do. And this is only going to continue to get worse as more and more people reach max wallets. And at these prices, it's easier to reach max wallet. There is nowhere to put the drip. I explained this in my previous video. So if we don't put something in place now, then it's just going to become something that we kick the can down the road, and it's going to be exponentially worse when we go forward. Right now, in the faucet, there is 67 million total drip. If everyone were to sell, we would need 676,000 drip per day in the tax vault. We clearly can't support that. So there needs to be something in place. This will get removed and won't be an issue once borrow and lending and drip layer 2 and all that is in place. Of course, a bull market, all that. I'm not worried about this at all in the future. But right now, this would be a serious problem. So the sooner that we can get this liquid drip removed and give incentives in the future to keep drip in the faucet, and incentives for people who have drip in their wallet to put it back in the faucet or sacrifice it and get something in exchange for it that is an asset meant to be sold, and when it's sold it benefits the ecosystem. That's the other thing. When dogs are sold, the people holding dogs win. So there's no sell pressure, no place where this is ever bad for the ecosystem. There may be a short-term correction in the dog's price, but due to the vesting, dogs is always meant to go up. So this is actually very, very bullish by injecting a bunch of dogs so that people waiting in the dog pound have some dividends. Remember, I showed you guys in the previous sheet. Right now, we got about 2.2 million in liquidity in the dogs crediting contract. So once that dries up, we need some kind of injection coming from somewhere. So that's 8,000 BNB. Well, this right here could inject another 1,000. That's, 10%, 12% of what we have in there. But that's not bad if we can create something like this routinely going forward, where there's an incentive to add BNB back into the dog pound. Because without it, then the dogs aren't earning any yield. And then it's not as attractive. And then, of course, that affects the rest of the farm. So I think, again, this is a really, really solid play. Please, again, leave comments, constructive criticism, areas of oversight that I might have missed. But long term, I think this can be a place that will continue to raise the drip floor. As I showed you guys, as dogs increase, then you can make this more and more attractive. And man, who wouldn't like to see a stable $10 drip floor? Because no one is keeping drip in their wallet, and anyone who, if the DEX has cheaper drip, they're buying it to sacrifice it to this contract so they can get dogs. That is a win-win for literally everyone in the ecosystem. Buys Forex a long-term runway for building. Everything about this smells like an option. So I'd love to have the community rally behind it, pitch it up the chain if possible. Love to get Forex to talk about it or something like that. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope it provided value. If it did, you guys know the drill. Smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like and subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible.